The war begins. Liam Empire versus Magnastrat versus the Co-Empire. Three crazy freaking strong freaking countries about to go all out, duking in a war, and get to see who will reign on top and be supreme. This is what I've been waiting for in this entire Season 2 of Magi, and this is going to be freaking badass. Being able to have a 1 hour special for an anime, for instance, for Magi Season 2 to have a 1 hour special to air episodes 16 and 17 at freaking once, it is shocking. That is rare for an anime. That is really freaking rare. And so, it's amazing enough to see that, but it's also amazing to see how much actual production value they put in this episode with the animation quality. The animation quality was really beautiful in this episode, and I love the way the characters betrayed their entire motives. I mean, getting to see Titus actually just break down and actually say, I don't want to die and all that, and he says he'll die in under an actual month, and the way he explains his backstory, that it's like he's an artificial created human just from another Magi, was, I expected as much, but it was interesting to get to see the way he was formed and just the way he was born. It's upsetting. It touched my emotional strings in a way I didn't think was possible, especially with Titus' character. I mean, I like Titus' character already, but I just didn't expect, this series to do something like that. Now, Titus all around this episode pretty much focused around him and why the entire war started. Mogamet pretty much goes to war over one of his fellow magicians, as he calls one of his sons, because he's getting misused, treated, he's gonna die, and one of the other people in the other countries are pretty much, stomping all over their pride. So, I love Mogamet. I mean, he's that type of character that even though he's a villain, I know he's a villain, I know he's mistreating Go, but what makes him so good is he's a character that you cannot hate, but you cannot love. I mean, he's on the actual both sides of the same coin. It's kind of like Accelerator from the Railgun series. So, that is really cool if they can do something like that. Mogamet has definitely earned my respect as one of my favorite, I guess, neutral characters in my opinion. I mean, he's not neutral in a sense since, the way he wants to accomplish. But if I had to compare him with other rulers and other countries we have seen in the Magi universe already, think about this in a logical sense. Is the Goi actually, do they have a better standing than some of the slaves, like Morgiana, for instance? I mean, look what they did to the Finalis. So, the Finalis is, are all trapped, enslaved, bound together, killed, whatever. But at the very least, Magnastrat is not technically imprisoning them. They are, I guess, putting them down and thinking they're pets or whatever, but they're feeding them and just, they're not making them starve and mistreating them to where literally they beat them to death with a freaking whip or make them live in the slums. So, you have to compare each of these different evils, and at the same time, I can see how Magnastrat is better than all of them. And honestly, if I was a magician, if I really was a magician like Aladdin, or, in Mogamet, I would probably want to go to that country too, because you most likely would get prejudiced for using magic. So, I can understand the goals they're fighting for. I can understand why Magnastrat is wanting to protect their country and form a country for magicians. So, I see the view of the war there. Liam Empire, I see their view too, even though I know what they're doing. They're pretty much just trying to become king over the entire world. That's pretty much what they're trying to do, and also what the Co-Empire's trying to do. So pretty much we got two greedy Goi countries that pretty much Mogamet was talking about, trying to conquer the world. Now, the main question of this is, since I don't read the manga, I'm pretty much just an anime-only viewer, I don't know which side is going to win. But if I had to take it, cliches, main character values and stuff, I'm going to probably say Magnastrat most likely would win. The reason why is because Aladdin seems to be shifting towards their side a little bit. And if I remember the first episode that did the foreshadowing, I don't think we really got to see a clear section of who was actually in the war, like who was Aladdin fighting for. So, I like it. I really love this episode. They did a good job with the actual introductions of all the major key players into the war and what we should expect in the future. So, all around, great fucking episode. They did a good job. I mean, seriously, the way they actually mixed in the ending song of this episode, when you just hear the ending song playing over as the war's beginning, you get to see all the faces of the main players, it was just something to behold. Now, what is going to happen? I mean, is characters going to die? Is Titus still going to die after a month? Is he going to be able to get saved? Is there a way to even save Titus? I mean, Titus is a good character. I don't want to see him die. And so, can Aladdin save him? Since Aladdin's a Magi, can Aladdin, give some of his soul or a bit of his skin or bone to be able to let Titus live? See, I have a lot of questions around that, how that's even done, since now that we know Magi can actually do this, maybe Aladdin can also replicate this and be able to do that. Now, all in all, this episode was just a really great episode. episode. Definitely a good episode to introduce the main element of what the season is about, and finding out about the Rufu, that pretty much the Dark Rufu that Magnastrat was involved in this episode, and finding out pretty much that they were the actual creators of the Dark Denji and the Dark Metal Vessels was something I did not see coming. I never saw that coming, and I was like, holy crap. So they're the entire cause of Dunya and all sorts of bunch of people just getting, or Koshim getting killed in the past. So I was like, holy crap, this is actually really messed up. But even though I know this bit of information, and I know how, Magnastrat used to be, at this point in time, Mogamet seems to be a very smart guy. He seems to not really like actual Alphaman and notice that they were evil. But I think the real reason why he broke up evil the way he said it in this episode was because he was giving that power to people in non-magic. So, pretty much he's still prejudiced as ever, Mogamet is. But I wonder if he would still feel the same if he just gave it all to magicians. Would Alphaman actually have been able to control the magicians, and would Mogamet have turned pure evil? See, there's many different aspects and theories and different ways that plot could have went if different, I guess, key events were changed. But besides that, I will give this episode a 9 out of 10. One of the best episodes of this season yet. And where the hell is Morgiana? I mean, we get to see Alibaba right at the end of this episode, and he's with the Finalis Corp. Why is Alibaba with the Finalis Corp? I mean, we know he was the Lim Empire, but why the hell is he on that boat? And if they're going to war with Magnastrat, okay? Why in the hell is Alibaba on that boat to go fight freaking Magnastrat when he knows freaking Aladdin is going to be there? So, just stupid things right there, but I mean, I really love the ending conclusion of this episode. A good cliffhanger. Anyways, guys, this is going to be the end of my anime review on Magi Season 2, Episode 17. Tell me what you think about this episode, and everybody, have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Chibi out.